Alfred got a brilliant start in the semi-final and she's away well again. She's up on Richardson at the moment. Julian Alfred, the history maker, the gold medalist.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we stand for the arrival of our Olympic gold and silver medalist, Ms. Julian Alfred? President of St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc., Mr. Alfred Emmanuel, Minister for Youth Development and Sports, Honorable Constance Casimir, Honorable Claudius Francis, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Secretary General of St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc., Mr. Teddy Matthews, members of the Board of Directors of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc., President of the St. Lucia Athletics Association, Ms. Brendalyn Descartes, representatives of national associations, Mr. Francis Etienne, the French ambassador to St. Lucia, the Greek ambassador to St. Lucia, Mr. Ethimios Ethimiades, former executive members of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc., chef de mission to the Paris Games, Ms. Helena Rennie, Ms. Julian Alfred, our 2024 Olympian, other members of Team St. Lucia to the Paris Games, past Olympians, manager of Julian Alfred, Mr. Henry Roll. She should be here, Miss Julian Alfred. No, Miss, oh, her mom is not there. Her mom, okay, her mom is not there. Miss Teresa Collymore, Director, St. Lucia School of Ballet and Modern Dance. Miss Deborah Edward, General Manager of Sol EC Limited, St. Lucia and Dominica, other invited guests and members of the media, good morning and a very special welcome to you. Today's ceremony bears a great deal of significance for so many reasons. For starters, it serves to highlight that greatness does reside among us, and in this instance, in the sphere of sports. Moreover, today's ceremony proves that as a nation, we do have the ability to honor the heroes and heroines among us whose hard work and dedication exemplify our collective reach for achieving what often seems impossible. Above all, today's ceremony focuses on and highlights the achievements of one of St. Lucia's most talented, humble, and inspiring citizens, Ms. Julian Alfred.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, on behalf of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee, I'm indeed honored to welcome each and every one of you to Olympic House as we gather to celebrate the extraordinary achievements of Julian Alfred at the Paris Olympic Games. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to extend a special welcome to the founding members of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee. Their vision and dedication laid the foundation for our eventual recognition by the International Olympic Committee as a bona fide Olympic committee. Today we are privileged to have with us Dennis St. Clair of the Volleyball Association, Paula Cauldron of the Netball Association, Claudius Francis, who was the president of the Table Tennis Association when I was an athlete, and Mr. Richard Peterkin, who also was one of the founding members. We're very happy to have you here this morning. Their contributions were instrumental in the formation of this organization, and we are indeed grateful for their leadership. Now to the heart of why we are all here, Julian Alfred. To have become an Olympic champion in our very first appearance at the Olympic Games is a truly remarkable achievement and accomplishment as well. Competing at the Olympic Games is an honor that few athletes experience, and even fewer come away with a medal. Many have competed in multiple Olympic Games without realizing their dream. For Julien to have won gold and to do so in the highly competitive women's 100 meters and silver in the 200 meters, all on her debut, speaks volumes about her talent, dedication, and perseverance. Her success did not come by chance. It is a result of years of rigorous training, unwavering focus, and an undeniable passion for the sport of athletics. Julien's achievement not only places her among the elite athletes of the world, but also serves as a beacon of inspiration for young athletes across St. Lucia. Her journey will inspire our youth for generations to come, reminding them that with hard work and determination, they too can achieve greatness on the world stage. Once again, it is my great pleasure to welcome Julien to Olympic House and into the St. Lucia Olympic family as we celebrate her incredible achievements at the Paris Olympic Games. I thank you all.
I'll now call to the podium Mr. Alfred Emmanuel, President of St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc., where we'll be doing the acknowledgement and unveiling of plaques. We'll also be inviting Mr. Dennis Sinclair and Ms. Paula Calderon to the front.
Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. It would appear that the Master of Ceremonies wanted to give me some breathing space for the lengthy speech that I will be delivering later on. So I will accept that. Protocol having been established, would like to say a pleasant good morning to one and all. This morning, in this atmosphere of celebrating our Olympic champion, our achievement in Paris, we felt it extremely important to reflect on the road that brought us to this day. Because had it not been for a solid foundation, dedication by those who offered their services voluntarily, we would never have been able to be on top of the world today. So we only felt it is important to acknowledge a few people. Some have left us and gone to the great beyond, and may their souls rest in peace while their memories live on. For those who are still here with us, I am sure that they are extremely delighted. Having set the foundation, some might have said 8 years ago, will I live to see this day? They have lived. This morning, the first milestone was establishing an Olympic committee which met the conditions of the IOC. Took a very long time. After much discussion with stakeholders and concerned citizens, a meeting was convened by the Ministry of Youth and Sports under the leadership of Permanent Secretary Alif Isaac. Today, as we celebrate our founding members' dream of attaining Olympic recognition on and off the field of play, we pay tribute to all those who attended that historic meeting. Many have been called to the great beyond, but there are survivors, and some are strong enough to be with us today in person, while the others, I am sure, that are still alive are following. At the meeting, our organization first executive board was led by deceased Laurie Ogis, who was elected president, and deceased Clarina Hoscroft as its first Secretary General. Still with us today are Dennis Sinclair, Paula Caldron, George Theophilus, and Reginald Cherubin. They served for the period 1987 to 1992, laying the foundation for what was to come. In 1992, after 6 years, another meeting was called to revitalize the dormant NOC. I can clearly recall that meeting, of which I was a part, and the intrigue that went into arriving at an executive board. Today, we recognize those who served during that period. Richard Peterkin, Paula Caldron, Fred DeVoe, Dennis Sinclair, Andrew McGlaw, Claudius Francis. It was also during this time that we finally obtained IOC membership on 24th September 1993. Last evening, Fred, who would have loved to be here with us, but because of his physical condition, cannot make it. But he took the opportunity to send me a personal note. And since it's a personal note, I will keep it that way. But I can tell you, the joy of these medals that it has brought to him, having lived to see St. Lucia winning Olympic medals. Gentle people, I can go on and on, but time does not permit. We found it only fitting on this day to unveil a few plaques, clearly identifying the men and women who held the fort over the years until we have been able to bring home the medals. I would now call on veterans Dennis Sinclair and Paula Caldron to unveil these plaques. And before the two of you all leave, in appreciation for unveiling the plaques and not having the opportunity to have won a gold medal, I will now present you all with a token of appreciation, our very own St. Lucian gold medal, which we prepared ahead of Paris.
So at this point, we'll call to the podium Ms. Theresa Collymore, who is the director and tutor at the St. Lucia School of Ballet and Modern Dance, to make a special presentation.
So happy to be gathered here on such an occasion as this. We'd like to thank you, the St. Lucia Olympic Committee Incorporated, for permitting the ARC, which will be formally announced later on this year, St. Lucia School of Ballet and Modern Dance, to express our appreciation to Ms. Julian Alfred. This is greatly appreciated. The classical dance and the Olympic athletes share much together. We apply ourselves in the same way. We focus on different aspects, which influences how we are evaluated and enhance our cultural significance. The arts are such a great and needed part of our presence here on earth. We must harness, cultivate, and produce. Chosen ones are walking on this earth in obedience of their calling to accomplish exactly what was written from the beginning of time, and nothing and no one shall or is able to stop them. We are building an army that harnesses, cultivates, produces, and blazes the way for our youth to their true destiny. We must do this now with care, with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, as we are at the end of the age, and we are and shall be accountable. May I say here thank you to the individuals who stepped into Miss Alfred's destiny just at the right time with love, care, encouragement, and assistance she needed and still needs for what lies ahead of her. Thank you to her family, her coaches, her colleagues, friends, and supporters. Miss Alfred, you are chosen, equipped, and you are to press on to the mark, for in him there is no finish line. The ARC, St. Lucia School of Ballet and Modern Dance, is celebrating our 45th anniversary this year, and we are more than willing to assist you and or collaborate with your foundation that is focused on the destiny of our youth. On behalf of our parents, students and staff of the St. Lucia School of Ballet and Modern Dance, Miss Alfred, congratulations. May we present to you a token of our appreciation of you and your accomplishments by our vocational student, Miss Soleil Belizaire. Thank you very much.
Secondly, we're going to call Miss Deborah Edward, General Manager of Sol EC Limited, St. Lucia and Dominica, to make a presentation. And this will be followed by one more presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stan Bishop. I wish to adopt the protocol that has been established. In the days and weeks following Julian's historic moment, I scoured for an email from anyone who could tell me how do we as a nation fuel and power the journey of what our Olympian has done. And so even before I speak, I want to just thank the PS in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Dr. Eurylis Hilaire, and the President of SLOC for inviting Sol today. As a company, Sol proudly congratulates Julien on this incredible achievement, winning the island's first ever Olympic gold. At Sol, we believe that fueling dreams is just as important as fueling our communities. And so I am pleased to announce a partnership with the Julian Alfred Foundation, which will involve the following. Sol has agreed, and let me just thank our incoming president, Donna Sanka, for quickly approving this proposal. Sol has agreed to provide free fuel to her foundation for a period of 5 years for any and all of their activities. This will be in addition to a monetary donation of $5,000 for the foundation and $5,000, I thought he would be here for Twatine. I'm trying to remember. He gave me his real name, but modest. President of SLOC for inviting Sol today. As a company, Sol proudly congratulates Julien on this incredible achievement, winning the island's first ever Olympic gold. At Sol, we believe that fueling dreams is just as important as fueling our communities. And so I am pleased to announce a partnership with the Julian Alfred Foundation, which will involve the following. Sol has agreed, and let me just thank our incoming president, Donna Sanka, for quickly approving this proposal. Sol has agreed to provide free fuel to her foundation for a period of 5 years for any and all of their activities. This will be in addition to a monetary donation of $5,000 for the foundation and $5,000. I thought he would be here for Twatine. I'm trying to remember. He gave me his real name, but modest. For Twatine, who would have done a lot of the foundational work with Julian. As a company, we also believe that it takes a village to raise a child. And last night I shared with Julian's mom, I remember when she first joined Toastmasters and she gave her very first speech. I asked her last night whether she remembered that first speech, and she said yes. I said, I'm joining Toastmasters because one day somebody's going to put a mic in my face and I'll have to give a speech for my daughter, and I want to do well. And I told her, you've done very well. And she spoke to me about the community. Yes, I'm a Toast mistress as well. She spoke to me about the community that has helped Julian along the way. And at Sol, we believe in that. We believe in the power of community. And so we have agreed, and we are to finalize this. I've been speaking with her manager. Julian is going to identify for us a member of her family who we will also provide free fuel to under the Sol Gas brand for the duration of the entire 5 years. So once Julian tells us who that family member is, Sol will be responsible for delivering gas to that person for the entire 5 years. Additionally, Julian's mom has identified, and with her manager, Mr. Roll, we wanted to see how we could really alleviate fuel as a bill for her mom. Her mom agreed last night with me that that fuel is going to go as well through the foundation for the 5 years. Mr. Pitakin is putting a little bit of pressure on me, but I just want to say that the proposal that I submitted to our president is exactly what I presented. This morning, however, I said to the team, we need to find a way to support what SLOC is doing, because I think we got to the podium, and as I sat here and I looked at the plaque, I'm like, I mean, as a former history teacher, this was really inspiring for me, hearing all of the persons who have contributed to bringing us here today. So I used this opportunity to have my team, we will set up a meeting with SLOC. I would like an opportunity for us to see how we can partner. I don't know that we can give as much fuel as we're giving the Julian Alfred Foundation, but I really would like to partner with SLOC. We know that you do a lot of sporting activities, and wherever there's sports and there's people, there's movement, and fuel will sell. So we'd like to partner with SLOC as well. Thank you very much. That is the sole presentation this morning.
The final presentation will come from Greek ambassador to St. Lucia, Mr. Ephemios Ephemiades, and how fitting, if you know your Olympic history, how fitting it is to have ambassador here. So give him a round of applause, please, and welcome him to the podium.
Let me just say a couple of words before honoring your Olympic winner, and of course I'm excited to be here. Great thanks to St. Lucia Olympic Committee. Greece is the birthplace of the Olympic Games, so how more fitting and exciting can it be that it's happening that I'm presenting my credentials as ambassador of Greece to St. Lucia around the same time that you are honoring your first gold Olympic winner. I mean, the Greek Olympic Committee, when it heard about that, mandated me to come and honor Julian Alfred and bestow an award from Greece to her. Greece is excited to welcome Julian Alfred in the pantheon of the Olympic winners. We are excited as birthplace of the Olympic Games to welcome St. Lucia on the panel of Olympic winning nations. And of course, the message is that only sky is the limit. Nothing is outside your reach. You have to believe it. You saw it in the achievement on Julian Alfred. You can do everything you set a goal on. You can be, all of you, Olympic winners in what you believe in. So Julian, I'm excited to give you a token of the Greek Olympic Committee. I think this symbolizes it's a winged victory. So I think that's really you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Along with that, it's the medal. It's the medal of the Olympic Games in Paris, and a commemorative plaque from the embassy. Thank you so much. We thank you. We thank you for what you're offering to us.
We're going to call to the podium next Miss Helena Rene. She was the head of delegation for Paris 2024 Olympics to make some remarks. Miss Rene?
There is a well-known saying that all good things must come to an end. And for me, sadly, it is true. The journey as chef de mission to the Paris 24 Olympic Games has been nothing short of rewarding, joyful, and historic. And I am so grateful to have been part of it. As the nation's lead representative, I had to ensure and make arrangements for all of the athletes before, during, and even after the games. Because if you miss one deadline or you miss one entry, then there is lots of repercussions on that. It happened to a team that one of the athletes, something went wrong, a form wasn't presented, and although the athlete was at the Olympic, she could not compete in the event. So getting these things in a timely manner was absolutely important. While we longed for success, and everybody was happy, and everybody was hoping that St. Lucia did well, we as a team were supposed to be focused and making sure that everything got right, and making sure that we did not get caught in the hype of social media, because lots of things were said, conspiracy theories and all sorts of things, and we had to make sure that we were focused in making sure that our athletes perform. Working with the athletes, coaches, and the local organizing committee was truly a pleasure. It surely broadened the scope of sports management for me, especially from the international perspective. I wish to urge all sporting leaders, athletes, supporters, and fans to remain focused, since the next Olympics is merely 48 months away in Los Angeles, California. I know we are able and we can produce more Olympic champions like Julien in the not too distant future. I wish to thank the St. Lucia Olympic Committee for the opportunity to serve as chef, especially thank Mr. Alfred Emmanuel, the president, for recommending me to the board, and the board overwhelmingly said yes. A special thanks to the athletes, Jayan Odlum-Smith, Michael Joseph, Luc Chevier, and Julian Alfred for putting up with me during the 2 weeks in Paris. All I did was to make sure that the environment was conducive for them to produce and perform to the best of their ability. I want to thank Mr. Bakfi. He was there with me, making sure that everything was done and everything was done right, so we did not encounter any problems at the games. I also need to thank the coaches, Coach Flo, Coach Fred, Mr. Frank Xavier. Without him, I would not have had a lot of things done. And thank you so much, Frank. I also need to thank the Minister of Sports, Mr. Kazime. He was there at the games for support, and I warmly welcome his support. Thank you for putting up with me, sir. Thank you for your humility. That came right through, and I appreciate it so very much. I also wish to say a big thank you to St. Lucia and the fans who supported me, And I would love to say that I love you too, because I got a lot of love from them. Mr. Henry Roll, another great supporter, Julian's manager, was very instrumental in helping me take care of Julian. I kindly ask for the members of Team St. Lucia to please take a good break and let's get ready for a banner 2025 season. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, my stint as the chef de mission has come to an end. And remember, I said that all good things come to an end, but I really hope it was not true, but it is true. Thank you so very much. Mic drop. Helena, out.
This morning, my message to each and every one of us here, and those, of course, who are listening via the live stream, to really say that sports has the power to unite people. And if we had any doubt, we recognized this over the last few days. Not sure how much energy Julian has left, but the congratulatory messages, the welcome messages, the hugs, the emails, the letters, the notes, it really indicates that sports has the power to unite people. So when we leave here today and we continue on our daily lives, let's take that with us. If we have nothing else to take with us, remember, we are united through sports. So what I want to also make a note of today is Julian's success is our success. And there are many aspiring athletes, and kindly take note, I didn't say young athletes, because we all are athletic, whether you believe it or not, so we all are. And every young, old, able, not so abled, we all have the power to make a difference. So let's be encouraged by Julian's performance. And as we've heard, it's a journey. It didn't just start last year, last 5 years. We've heard her say it, how many times she thought that she couldn't continue, but she did not allow this to deter her. She continued. So let's be encouraged by this, and of course, continue to encourage others to take physical activity seriously. So my message again to everyone here, I love this quote by Nelson Mandela, and he speaks to, just give me a minute, let me make sure I get it right. The power of sports in uniting people, and of course, my Minister of Sports is here, so hopefully he could take this message to his colleagues as well, and we could see how we could use sports to unite people. Just give me a minute. So Mandela's quote speaks to sports have the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire, the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sports can create hope where there was once only despair. It is more powerful than governments in breaking down racial barriers. It laughs in the face of all types of discrimination. Sports is the game of lovers. So if we have nothing else to take away from all of what is happening this week, let's just remember that sports has the power to unite people. So as we continue, and for me as the head of the Athletic Association, and as we continue to ensure that there is sustainability in us, of course, acquiring medals at the Olympics, medals at the other events that we attend, we have to ensure that the foundation, as Mr. Emmanuel spoke to, has to be a strong foundation, but you have to continue to reinforce that foundation. And so I call on corporate St. Lucia to also remember that we have to provide the support to the federation so it can continue its work in preparing our athletes to reach greater heights. So with this, I say thank you.
Up next, we're going to call Honorable Kenson Casimir, Minister for Youth Development and Sports, who sometimes tells you he wishes he was still on the field of play. A round of applause for our minister.
I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Speaker of the House, an avid sports lover throughout his entire career, Mr. Honorable Claudius Francis in our midst. Thank you so much for being our presence. My speech will be brief today, as it's been for the entire time. Today, I am indeed heartened by the contribution of some of our corporate sector individuals towards Julian Alfred. And I sat down there as minister, and I was dissatisfied with the round of applause that Saul, the School of Ballet, and the ambassador gave towards... we can do better than that, for sure. Thank you so much. And anybody who works with me will understand why I feel duty-bound to acknowledge when corporate sector individuals do their part in sport. That being said, I will say, by virtue of the fact that my phone has been ringing over the last 2 weeks, 90% of the calls not from constituents from Grosley, but from corporate sector individuals willing to donate something to Julian Alfred. 90% of those calls. This said so many things to me. It said to me for a fact that Julian Alfred has really changed the landscape of sports in St. Lucia forever. That being said, if those calls can come post, I certainly hope those calls come pre the next Julian Alfred of St. Lucia. I have with me almost monthly the budgets needed for sports activities in St. Lucia. And I want to single out one today. The budget for hosting an inter-primary track and field meet is close to $200,000. And anybody who understands the amount of primary schools we have in St. Lucia will understand why the budget is almost $200,000. And we have a former DPS in our midst, and she would tell you almost $80,000 is required for transportation. Almost $80,000 is required for transportation alone. So if we are serious about sports development in this country, especially at a critical juncture, primary school athletics, my phone should be ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing as we head to our next athletics meets at the primary school level in St. Lucia. And so my duty today is to really ask that it is not just Lucilec again, and Bank of St. Lucia again, Republic Bank again, and Sol Gas Station again. It's not just First National again, calling. Not calling after, but calling before to find out, Minister, how can we help? I certainly hope that my phone will be ringing and ringing and ringing for us to get it done before. And this is all of us in here who truly love sport want. We want to see the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10-year-olds in productive competition from early on. So if we are truly serious about doing this for an extended period of time, like Jamaica, we will make that investment in school sports. And so for the corporate sector who can hear my voice today, I will be calling. We will be asking. We officially asking today. But I certainly hope that the calls that I received for me to be either on television or at the concert, for St. Lucia to see me give Julian Alfred something as she has done it, I certainly hope that these calls would come before we have our next championships in St. Lucia, proactively to create another Julian Alfred in St. Lucia. I thank you so much. I look forward to my phone ringing. Thank you.
And I think the foundation for this corporate sector has been set by a coach who called and asked her mom, where's your daughter? I can't send my daughter to training because she doesn't have transportation. And that coach took it on his own to ensure that he goes to her home and get her there. That's what we call social sponsorship, yeah? So we have an example, and this young lady is sitting right in front of us. Right, so now that I've given my president enough time and breathing space, I'll call him to the podium to make some gentle remarks. Mr. Alfred Emmanuel, President of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee. So buckle up, please.
You see life, eh? Life. The minister's phone has been ringing off the block. But the organizations that made it all happen, that had or have the blueprint for delivering an Olympic champion, I don't think the phone have rung as yet. But that's life. I would want to once again adopt the established protocol, and for the second time say a pleasant good morning to all, both at home and abroad. I would also want to take time off to recognize the French and Greek ambassadors and the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Claudius Francis, not forgetting our guest of honor, the Olympic champion, the Diamond League 100-meter champion, the Central Caribbean Sports champion, the Commonwealth Youth Games champion. Oh, what a champion we have in the house today. As we gather in the Jonathan Everett Conference Room to pay tribute to Julian, I will take the liberty of saying a few things which I hope will provide clarity going forward. But even before I begin, I was reminded yesterday by the Honorable Prime Minister, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, just remember, there is a 40% that will be against you. I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I know that. So I expect the 40% will be there. Attaining world-class status comes with sheer dedication and hard work. First, on the part of the athlete, coupled with the concentrated planning and execution of strategy by the athlete and his or her entourage. And by that I mean the coaches, the physios, the managers, the agents, and any other individuals that would form that inner circle. Participation at such multi-sport games, which fall under the banner of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc., should not be seen as an entitlement simply because you are the best in your sport. Selection will be determined when the athlete has met established standards first and foremost, followed by the athlete seriously and adequately preparing for the said competition. It cannot be a case of, I have met the standards, so I can now relax, I can now bluff, or I can now call on the organization which I will be representing to turn stone into bread. This attitude or behavior will surely not reap the rewards that our entire nation has been celebrating since March the 2nd, 2024, when Julian won gold in the 60-meter at the World Athletics Indoor Championships. In the play Julius Caesar, written by Shakespeare, I always like to reflect on parts of Mark Antony's speech at Caesar's burial. Mark Antony, in his day, uttered those words: "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar and not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones." Gentle people, I honestly believe that was the thinking then. I want to remind our countrymen, both at home and abroad, that the evil that men do or dabble in will surely catch up with them during their lifetime on this earth. Likewise, the good that they do or have done will be reciprocated to them again right here on earth before their passing. Mark Antony also told the gathering, "Here was Caesar. When comes another Caesar?" Today, I say, here is Julian Alfred. And with the honesty, dedication, and hard work that she displays, we as a nation can produce many more Olympic champions. Therefore, unlike Mark Antony, I do not want my nation to say, when next comes a Julian Alfred. While the nation celebrates, you know, it is not funny what I have heard, and I am still hearing from all quarters. Who was there? Who did what? Who prevented what? Who assisted with what? Who stopped what? And the list goes on. What I will tell you is that the St. Lucia Athletics Association, which I had the privilege to head or be part of its leadership for a considerable length of time, and the St. Lucia Olympic Committee Incorporated, which I have the honor to lead at this time, know full well the roadmap for success. It is a plan that not all will want to subscribe to, but when success is achieved, even the fiercest of critics are all too happy to join in the praises. My track record has been consistent. You need to meet established standards first and foremost, and move on from there. I must tell you, from January 1st, 2021 to July 31st of this year, the St. Lucia Olympic Committee Incorporated has provided assistance to our members and a few other organizations like HelpAge and Special Olympics, and facilitated the participation of our country's athletes in multi-sports events at a cost of EC $4,588,077. I can also say that not a penny came from local coffers. neither the government nor corporate St. Lucia. Now, I don't want to just leave it there and say neither a penny from government or corporate St. Lucia to, as my good friend Shakes would say, give the wagonists an opportunity to dance on social media. No. So I need to put that statement in context. As an Olympic committee, we recognize the fact that we have a very small economy. We have 20 national federations as our members. So we only took a conscious decision that we should not be competing with our national federations for the very limited resources that are out there. So it's a conscious decision that we never called on government or corporate St. Lucia for any financial assistance, but rather left that so our members can find solace in receiving the necessary support that they need to expose their athletes. Let me say, when I was given the privilege to lead the St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc., I made it very clear that my legacy will depend on putting athletes on the podium. What did I hear? And was hearing before August 3rd, 2024. This man is all about standards, all about medals. To some, supporting this notion was or is to support sporting political suicide, while others quietly said, I am with you on this road. To those who have stayed by my side, I say thank you. And to the others, the approach is not sporting foolishness, but one of wanting the world to know that we too as a nation can perform on the world stage. I urge you all to reconsider your positions for the betterment of sports and our national pride. Well, it was medals and podium finishes in the French capital by an athlete who remained committed to being the first to deliver an Olympic medal to her nation. I do not want to repeat what most of you would have heard already. And as I told Julien at a brief gathering in Paris, there are scenarios I am privileged to that will never be revealed publicly. That said, I would now want to quickly outline a journey of sheer determination. When Brenda Joseph, now she is Mrs., I really can't recall her married name, a teacher at the Cicero Combined School, spotted talent. It was the Speed Printing Survivors Athletics Club that was approached. Cuthbert Modest, who was the chief cook and bottle washer at the time, gladly agreed to welcome Julian into their midst. I can recall these formative years. It was not only Julian. There were kids like Davia James, Rochelle Etienne, and Desiree Daisy that formed the Survivors Brigade at the time. Hard times and the need to assist with family survival chores saw some of them fall by the wayside. But Julian soldiered on. At the tender age of 14, she told the Americas, "I have come of age, and I am there for the long haul," when she dominated the Central American and Caribbean age group championships in Trinidad. It was at that meet that operatives of St. Catherine High School in Jamaica recognized raw St. Lucian talent and decided to offer her an opportunity to come and be part of the setup. I must say though, St. Catherine High saw her ability and they told themselves, this will be good for us going into champs over the years. In 2017, there came the crossroads for Julian. 2 championships back to back. The World Athletics Under-18 Championships in Kenya and the Commonwealth Youth Games in Nassau, Bahamas. Being the medal man that I am, at the time, I had to convince the leadership of the Athletics Association that Julian's better chance of medaling was at the CYG Games. And as such, we, the Commonwealth Games Association of St. Lucia, needed her services. Well, you would know the bargaining that I had to entail, because the president at the time of the Athletics Association, Mr. Andrew McGlaw, with much hesitation, agreed to release her into the care of the CGA. And the rest is history. Commonwealth Youth Games champion over 100 meters. 1 year later, having completed studies at St. Catherine High, Julian returned home. It was an Olympic Youth Games year with Argentina playing host. Again, sports politics, shared determination, and love for country was again at play. Cuthbert Modest was there again, ensuring that Julian got ready for the event. The pictures of them having to train at the Masha grounds with grass more than a foot tall in the background and making the weekly trips to the George Odlum Stadium, again with some male athletes from the survivors camp to enhance her preparation, resulted in glory once again for St. Lucia. A silver medal in the 100-meter event. It was that performance which captured the attention of coaches from the universities in the US. After careful consideration, she chose University of Texas, where as an NCAA athlete, she was guided by Coach Eldrick Floreal, more particularly known as Coach Flo. And after finishing her NCAA career, decided I'm going nowhere. I am remaining with Coach Flo. 2022 saw Julian winning the 100 meters in the first ever Caribbean Games in Guadeloupe. And she followed it up with a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. 2023 saw her capture the 100-meter title at the Central Caribbean Sports Games in El Salvador. These performances under her nation's sporting banner, coupled with her NCAA achievements, made her a force on the field of play. 2024 would be a deciding year. Lots of expectations from all quarters. Lots of armchair sports analysts. But all the while, A dedicated Coach Flo and his team ensured that Julien remained focused amidst all the social media hype. I can recall the athlete missed a meet in Jamaica, and the self-proclaimed pundits were off the blocks again. She injured. You did not see her pull up at the last outing. They never took time to find out what was going on. I can recall a nervous Renee de Myers calling me up simply because she wanted that reassurance that Julien was not injured. I can tell you now that the Miss Jamaica event had nothing to do with injury, but all about believing in her medical team and what they prescribed. Come Paris Olympics, and Julien and her team had the game plan set. Mission, delivering to St. Lucia its first Olympic medal. But yet again, the St. Lucia Olympic Committee Incorporated had to endure the criticisms of some misguided analysts. How come Julien was not the one carrying the flag at the opening ceremony? People were told she was in Texas preparing. Others were of the opinion, why not fly her in just for the opening ceremony and for her to return to base camp? I must say, we took our licks, knowing full well what the game plan was. On August 3rd, 2024, at 8:20 p.m. Paris time, and 10.72 seconds later, those who had never heard of St. Lucia got to hear our island nation's name for the first time. Why? Julian Alfred, a kid from Monkey Tongue, Cicero, was now the Olympic 100-meter champion of the world. 3 days later, tired but determined, Julien again dug deep, pulled the choke, and delivered yet another brilliant performance with a silver medal in the 200 meters. Our country appeared united behind Julian's success. The cries of Juju and the words that I am a damn proud St. Lucian were on everyone's lips. This is what the power of sports can do. The St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Inc. will not be complacent under my watch. We will continue to demand attaining established standards first and foremost, and we will spare no effort in sourcing the necessary funding to ensure that come Los Angeles 2028, we can improve on our 2024 performance. We know what the roadmap is, and for us, as a multi-sports organization, we are prepared for the task at hand. In 2025, we will be at the Pan Am Junior Games in Paraguay. In 2026, we will be at the Commonwealth Games in Scotland and the Central Caribbean Games in the Dominican Republic, and also the Summer Youth Olympic Games in Dakar, Senegal. In 2027, Pan Am Sports Games in Lima, Peru, and 2028, Olympic Games in Los Angeles, California. As an organization, we know we will need the support of our national associations in delivering quality athletes. And rest assured, we will find the necessary resources to make it happen. Finding the necessary resources comes with demands, accountability, transparency, and fair play. We cannot allow the 2024 moment to slip backwards. It must be used as motivation to tell us, we did it then, we can do it again and again. Later today, the Prime Minister will be making some pronouncements re our Paris success. I hope that when this is done, due recognition, both in word and deed, will be dished out to the organizations who over the last 3 years worked tirelessly to ensure that our country's participation in the field of sports at the continental and world stage was a success. Today, we want to say thank you, Julian, for making us proud. We want to say thank you to our funding agencies, Pan Am Sports, our continental organization, and the International Olympic Committee for their unwavering support. You talk motivation? Well, with our limited resources, we felt compelled to reward Julian for her efforts in putting us on the podium. Tomorrow, it can be her again, but we are hoping many more will join her. For your efforts, Ma'am, I have the pleasure to call on you to come forward and join me as I present you on behalf of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee and the entire Olympic Committee with a token of our appreciation. That's why I'm not smiling. I only wanted those in here to see it. The token of our appreciation is to the tune of EC $75,000. Let it be known that these funds were secured from one of our programs that were aimed at preparing athletes for Paris. At the end of our Paris campaign, we sought the approval of Pan Am Sports so as to facilitate this award. And again, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, Pan Am Sports. In closing, I call on our members to remain focused on the task at hand, and that is producing quality athletes for years to come. And being the true Christian that I am, let me call on the Lord that I serve to continue showering blessings on our nation by giving us more athletes like Julian Alfred. I say thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alfred. Emmanuel. So, we had Alfred Emmanuel presenting a check to Julian Alfred. Two Alfreds, right? Now, on April 6th, in a little setting just like this, in this very same room, this sister launched her foundation, where she was giving, this is pre-Olympics, where she was already giving back. When you start to give, you get, especially when the purpose is for a good one. And Mr. Emmanuel, the takeaway from his speech was that creating champions can take eons sometimes, and a lot of hard work. But if you follow the roadmap, sometimes you have to stay focused. You can't just go with what everybody says. So at this point, I'm going to invite to the podium somebody who knows what winning is, what inspiring people is, what being humble is, and what giving back is. It's my honor to welcome to the podium our 2024 Paris Olympic gold medalist and silver medalist and Diamond League winner, Miss Julian Alfred.
I won't. I'll try not to. Oh. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Protocols have already been established. I want to start by thanking Saul Gass for taking the opportunity to come out today and also support my foundation and give back as well and support my mission in helping the youth of the country. You put me under a lot of pressure to find one family member, so I'll have to sort that out as soon as possible. Thank you, Mr. Alfred Emmanuel, for reminding me of my accolades prior to winning the Olympics, the Olympic 100 meter. It's truly been, a journey to get to this point. And as I look around the room, seeing so many faces who have been like a part of my journey to get to this point, and who have helped me, who have made me comfortable and allowed me to just go out there and focus on just getting the medal for St. Lucia. I truly want to thank you for, during the Olympic Games, those who were part of the staff, Chef Domicia, hopefully I'm saying it right, Miss Helena, Mr. McPhee, oh my God, the physio, all the coaches who were part of the Olympic Games. They made it in such a way where I felt so comfortable that I had to worry about absolutely nothing, and all I had to do was just focus on running. And I just really want to say it's always been that way. Those who have been part of the journey and who have been on national teams with me, they've allowed me to be Julian, they allowed me to be comfortable, and they've made it an appointment to go to all my dinners, lunch dates, breakfast with me to just ensure that, I feel comfortable and just allow me to focus on the track. So I really want to say this morning, thank you to you all for allowing me to be the best Julian when it comes to me being on the track. I also want to say thank you to St. Lucia Olympic Committee for just supporting me on my journey to gold at the Paris Olympic Games. You guys have been part of the journey for such a long time. I honestly forgot about Youth Olympic Games in Argentina, which is proud of me, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support that I've been receiving throughout my years doing track and field. I am honestly lost for words right now, but all I can really say is just thank you. And I am just so grateful for all the love that I've been receiving, and it really means a lot to me. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I've been trying not to cry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I just truly want to say thank you for just everything that you have done for me. And it's always a pleasure representing St. Lucia on the global stage. And I truly want to thank Puma for also sponsoring the Olympic Committee in helping, the youth and also the upcoming athletes of St. Lucia. You look good, feel good, and you're ready to go on the track. So I really just want to thank Puma for taking the time out and supporting, our small nation. To everybody who came out today, oh my God. To everybody who came out today and who's in this room, I really want to say thank you all for coming out today. It means a lot seeing your faces, and the support means a lot to me, and it takes a lot to get to this point, and I really want to just say thank you for supporting me in my career. So thank you all.
All right, so remember you were clapping during the games. Give the sister a round of applause, bigger than that. Right. Yes. So I have a 3-year-old niece. We were watching the Olympics, and she loves swimming. So she started swimming in April. But when she started seeing, so everywhere she goes now, she sees the poster, Julien. She doesn't say Julian. She said, Julien. I want to be like Julian Alfred. I want to beat her. Like, slow down. We're going to support you, but slow down. So thank you so much for that, Julien, and we wish you the best going forward. At this point, we're going to call another athlete with who I have a lot of respect for, Makiba Al-Seed. And she's the chairperson of the Athletes Commission, and if you speak to the athletes, they're going to tell you they get representation. She's going to be doing the vote of thanks.
It is with immense gratitude and honor that I stand before you today as we celebrate one of St. Lucia's finest athletes, Julian Alfred, on her incredible achievement at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Her 2 Olympic medals have brought not only pride to our nation, but have also inspired a generation of athletes to dream big and strive for greatness. First and foremost, to the family and loved ones of Julian Alfred, thank you for standing by her side through every victory and challenge. Your love and encouragement have fueled her spirit and determination, and we are grateful for the role that you have played in her success. To the coaches, trainers, and the entire support team, including the SP Survivors family, thank you for your relentless dedication. Your guidance, expertise, and encouragement have been crucial in her journey to Olympic success. Behind every great athlete is a team of equally great individuals, and today we celebrate you as well. To the St. Lucia Athletics Association, we extend congratulations to you. Your commitment to the task of remaining functional, relevant, and providing the opportunities for competition and development of our youth is significant. We all remember the first national championships, which led to the identification of this talent, Julian Alfred. You have been the lead model in our sports associations, and it's no surprise that we are here celebrating excellence with you. Today's celebration is as much a testament to your commitment as it is to Julian's talent and hard work. Congratulations again. To the government of St. Lucia, we acknowledge your support and commitment in continuing to create the enabling environment for our athletes to excel globally. And to Julian Alfred, thank you for making us believe in the power of dreams and determination. Your triumph in Paris is not just a personal victory, but a victory for all of us in St. Lucia. You have shown us what is possible when talent meets hard work, and you continue to be a beacon of hope and pride for our nation. As chairperson of the St. Lucia Athletes Commission, I would like to thank the St. Lucia Olympic Committee Incorporated for organizing this event and for their unwavering support in our quest to succeed. Thanks to pioneers of this movement who now adorn the walls of this room. Their dedication to the development of sports has paved the way for moments like these, and we are truly grateful for the platform you continue to provide. We also recognize the contribution of Mrs. Fortuna Belrose, the first female president of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee, who insisted during her tenure on putting athletes first. She's unable to be here with us today, but I'm sure she's watching online. As we conclude this celebration, let us all carry the spirit of this moment with us. Let it serve as a reminder of what can be achieved when we support and uplift our athletes. And let it inspire future generations to continue the legacy of excellence in sports. Thank you all for being here today, and may we continue to celebrate the accomplishments of our athletes and the bright future of sports in St. Lucia. Thank you.
Imagine that, a holiday can actually draw people out of their homes rather than to bring them to the beach. They're here. Guess why? Today is Julian Alfred Day. Give the sister a round of applause for that, right? Yeah? Julian Alfred Day. Imagine that. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here again. And we'll be retiring to the next room for some refreshments. Thanks so much for coming, everybody.
Alfred got a brilliant start in the semi-final, and she's away well again. She's up on Richardson at the moment. Julian Alfred, the history maker, the gold medalist.